having such a life transformational event, we want to tell you all our tips and tricks on how you can keep up momentum so you can keep seeing results as soon as possible. But before we get into that, hit the intro. Hello!
Hello.
Amazing. I'm super excited to be here with all of you and you, Tjibaria, again for this podcast. And like we just mentioned, we're going to speaking about all things keeping momentum, keeping up the results after such a life transformational event. And I think that this is going to be a really powerful episode for everyone watching, whether you're at the event or not. So make sure you stay tuned, make sure you get your notebooks out. And yeah, over to you. How we just finished the event yesterday. How are you feeling?
I am feeling excited, yet also very tired. It was so funny because this morning I was just like, oh, I can't get out of bed. I was so tired. Even yesterday, normally after the event, I still do my little video for the students and I still do an after party. But it was just like battery finished. So I was like, I was still sending out the email and doing this, doing that. And I was just like, okay, guys, sorry, I have to go to bed. And I was in bed and I really, really needed it. But at the same time, even though I do feel tired, and by the way, let us know in the chat box if you feel tired, if you are part of Project 1 Million, because tiredness is usually part of transformation. But I feel so content and so happy because of all of the lives that have been changed. And just today, how many conversations have we had with amazing, super duper participants from our event that just really have taken that next step in their lives. So I am super excited for that. But I also want to quickly say, if you are new to the channel, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, to hit the bell, because Josie and I, with our weekly podcast, the Freedom Lifestyle Podcast, we are here to inspire people and to truly make your freedom lifestyle actually become a reality. So we're really, really excited for that. And also, if you're watching this video and you are, for some crazy reason, not part of Project 1 Million, then we are very happy to let you know that we're doing it again in just 4 weeks. So there is a possibility for you to also get that free mentorship. You can find the link in the comments. You can also get the link by checking it out here below, which is project1millionin1year.com/Josie. But Josie, I have a question for you, because I don't know if many people know this, but you, once upon a time in a past very, very far away, used to be a student too. And you came to an event like Project 1 Million, perhaps not as good as Project 1 Million, because right now it's just awesomer than it was before. But what did you actually experience when you came to your first event? And more importantly, how did you manage to keep such phenomenal momentum after?
Oh, great question. And yes, like I hi Misty, hello Robert in the comments.
Super good
Yeah,
to see you guys.
it feels like ages ago that I was actually at an event. I was but a wee child back then when I came to my event. But yeah, I still remember noticing that a level of transformation that I know a lot of people went through during this event, but also all of our events. And it can be very overwhelming and very exhausting sometimes because you're learning all this new stuff. But I absolutely loved it, and that's why every time I speak to people after the event and they're kind of in that like stage, I'm like, I know, I've been there, I know how you're feeling. I I think the biggest thing that comes to mind when I think about how I kept momentum and how I feel like I would like everyone else to tap into is now that you've learned so much and so many new things and your mind has been opened to this whole new world
Oh,
to
no.
to do a Jabari and start singing. To actually take that, I mean, you have your notes, you have everything you got from the event, and really go back over it and do the doings. I know we say this a lot and we might sound like a broken record, but it really is that. And with this, and I still find myself like in this through this, obviously, because you grow, you evolve and you hear things on a different level each time. I
Mhm.
still do this too, is now you have a new awareness of what it takes, what you need to do, maybe some actions that you need to take it. Do it. Now is the time to do it. Too often I feel like it's very energetic and people are hyped during the event, but
Yeah.
then we're not there anymore. It drops off a little bit. So what I would say
Mhm.
is, you know what you need to do it. And I actually spoke about this in my live video after day 5, is
Yeah.
the successful people, the millionaires, the people that have big businesses, they're not better than you, they're not smarter than you. They just know
Very.
what they should do and they do it. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
I love this. This is very true. And I want to ask everybody to comment below and say, do the doings. Very, very simple. But I know also some people might be wondering, okay, but in my notebook, I see a million different doings. Where do I start? Well, if you watch day number 5, you know exactly what that is, because it's literally just following that step-by-step 6-step process, which starts with just simply visibility. And also, again, for getting that really, really clear, it's such a simple step to take, just to grab your phone. And as a matter of fact, I want to inspire people that are here right now watching the podcast. Just grab your phone and take a little snap with us, just like we were doing during the event. You take a snap and you do like, boom, like that. And then you just post it on your Instagram. And wow, the balloons are happening. And you tag us in it. Tag me, tag Josie. And that's just like step number 1, have that visibility done. That's number 1. And whatever your schedule is, if you say, okay, I post 3 times per week, actually write out which days of the week is it. I would definitely recommend Monday in there, because Monday, sometimes we'll look at the Monday and think like, oh, Monday, things start again. But actually, Monday is the day where you can build that momentum, which is really, really good, because it's a great start of the week. So add today in with your visibility. Use the energy from this podcast right now to go and get that one done. And that's step 1 done. Then after that, you want to then get started with speaking to people, obviously. And I know that sometimes, like the way how we explained it in day number 5 was very simple, step by step. Like it's not rocket science or anything. But like Josie says, it's just taking that step. Because too often there is this little, how do you say, pitfall where we can think about the doing. So then the doings are very close, like they're here. This is what I need to do. And we feel like we're doing that because we're thinking about them. It's like, yeah, I can go live. I can do a podcast. I can do a video. I can do a story. And I could speak to people. I actually know how to do that now. But yeah, you thinking about the doings doesn't mean that you're doing the doing. So again, then it's like, okay, let's just get one thing done. And here's a cool thing. And this is an extra tip I want everybody to write down, which is that when you actually get something out of the way, you get something done, you feel better, so much better. And it fuels your productivity, it fuels your confidence. It's basically like, okay, how many of you ever have had a lot of tabs open or a lot of apps open on your device? And how good does it feel to close a tab or to close an app? It's like boom, boom, boom. That's the same thing that happens in real life. Because the more I think about the doings, and there's doings here, there's doings here, there's like all these tabs that are open in our mind. But if you actually do something and you get it out of there, then it also creates more space, better operation space. It's less heavy on our shoulders. But here's the third thing, and I think I want to really ask Josie about this too, how she experienced this, is that when you actually do number 1 and number 2, not toilet business, but I mean, number 1, visibility, and number 2, actually messaging a few people, at some point you're going to get responses back and you're going to see the fruits. And that can happen quite quick. And when you do that, then it's like, whoa, this stuff is real. And you actually start to realize that some of the stuff that you put out there is very, very valuable to other people. And for me, what was the craziest thing about this is that sometimes I think what I'm going to post right now is like nothing valuable. Everybody already knows this. And it's usually those posts that then turn out to be the most appreciated. And people say, thank you so much. I really need to hear this. And I'm just like, oh, I thought nothing of this one. And then I make this very sophisticated post and then nobody has anything. So Josie, how was that for you? Because you obviously, and I want to say this, credit where credit is due, Josie showed up from day zero, like straight away. She was on it. She kept doing things. She kept that momentum very beautifully. So, what was actually your first experience when you started to, do some of those doings? You became visible. Like maybe some of the first reactions that you still remember that people gave you, or how it made you feel. What was that process for you? And that was before she closed hundreds of thousands. So,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
and she's only 23. Do you guys know that? Josie's just 23 years old. It's like whenever Josie grows up, she's gonna be like, anyways.
Ah, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like, yeah, I'm in the right space to do so. So credit to you right back. So thank you. And yeah, I don't know if you saw, but the whole time you were speaking, I was like, yes, because everything, all of that is so true. And I was actually just thinking about this yesterday as well, with sometimes in this space, we don't always have that what's it called, instant gratification. We don't have that instant reward because you're sending out messages, you're doing content, and it can feel like nothing is happening.
Mm,
But that's, like you said, the two rules of success, right? Show up, don't quit.
yeah,
You've shown up,
a good
and
truth.
then you're quitting because nothing's happening. Like that's no wonder that nothing's happening. So I think it was hard for me as well before I realized this, and before I just forced myself to keep going even when nothing was happening. It can feel really hard because you're posting, you're messaging, and you're getting nothing in return. But I know now through experience, and I'm telling you watching, that it does pay off. And I know that you know that too, Jari. Like it does pay off. You're planting all the little seeds. As long as you keep watering them and giving them love, things are going to start growing, right? And you're going to start seeing those results. And then, like you said, that feels good. You want to do more. And then the momentum starts. But there has to be a little bit in there where you have the grit to keep going, even when nothing is happening, although it is in the background. You just can't see it. And to be honest with you and everyone watching, sometimes it's still hard. Sometimes I don't want to keep posting because the last one didn't do so well, or I don't want to pick up the phone because the last one didn't go well, and now I think this one's doing it, and I still catch myself doing that. But I'm just, and you speak about this a lot, I'm just better now at catching it and throwing it away. Yeah, that like time of success. What was it called? You bounce back.
Yeah, you snap yourself out of the moment and you recover quick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just better at that now because I know that it works. But you watching are only going to know it works and feel that if you have the grit to keep going
Yeah.
and make it work. And I know that I want to ask you as well, the reverse, that question, and you too. Like, you do so much. I know you. There's the content. You wear every hat in business. How do you kind of get yourself to do the things that you know you should do but don't always want to do? And yeah.
I want to say one thing to it, because there's one thing that I know I should do more of, and I have really noticed some sort of procrastination in there. So I want to just honestly admit that as well. I'm not going to say what it is, but there is one thing where I just know, like, yeah, I understand it. I understand the feeling of why people sometimes just, hold off on certain things, because I also experience it in certain areas. And I know exactly there is where my growth is at. So it's like you're looking at it. So that's why I'm speaking from experience. Like, I'm thinking about it. I know, yeah, you're here, but I need to do it. So it's very normal. And at every different level that you grow and scale, you're gonna face it, but then in slightly different examples. But for me, when I get started with something or something new, what I actually have noticed a lot, doesn't actually matter which things I've done, but many a time, I really allow my trust in my mentor to guide me. And so I remember, and this was a very crazy one actually. This was with some of the recent stuff, like a couple of years ago, that one of our mentors said something, and I was just like, huh, is that gonna work? But then I was instantly thinking, like, well, it works for them, so it should work. But I still had internal doubt, like, is this going to work for us? Because we were doing something in a particular way up to that point, and we were used to doing it that way. But then we were all of a sudden asked to adapt and to perform at a higher level. And I had those doubts. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about and if you remember that I had those doubts, because I don't think I showed that I had those doubts. But I also had so much trust knowing that it works for my mentor, that therefore, like, well, suspend the thinking, just do it. And I remember being extremely pleasantly surprised when I just saw it work in front of me. And I think that's what I would like to call, like, I'm happy that I have that particular characteristic, that even though if I cannot see it materialize for myself, I just trust my mentor because I know it works for him. I know it works for her. So let's just go and do it. And I really like force myself to suspend it, but not with every task. So there are still some coding things. And I'm like, okay, see you. And
We're all
not
human.
hold me accountable on it, because I know this is gonna really boost
Mm.
us to another level. So just kick my butt for that, Josie.
Oh, okay.
But it is a very real thing, and it's important that we do recognize it for ourselves. And I think one of our students said this recently, um, basically that, yeah, we always know what it is that we have to do, like intrinsically. I think it was my interview with Paulo a few weeks back, that he said, like, we always know what we have to do. Somehow, somewhere, we know, like, yeah, that's where I have to go. You know it, but then why don't we do it? And so we should do it. And the same thing with me. I know this thing over here, I should do it. I do bits and pieces of it, but I always find very good reasons to be still busy with other stuff. So we know, everybody watching, you know what you got to do. So do it.
Yeah.
That's it. Does that actually answer the question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's so cool as well to hear you say that too. It like everyone's human. It's not, yeah, it's everyone goes through that. It's just how quickly can you snap yourself out of it? And you said something really cool just then. Actually, I don't know if you know you said this, but it's that space between thinking and doing. So
Ah,
many people have way too much space between that, right?
yeah.
Thinking and actually doing. You actually have such a short one. Go ahead.
Can I just quickly say this? We should make that a t-shirt. The space between thinking and doing, or something like that. We should do
Yeah.
something like a new Doggett
Like what normal
t-shirt.
people FLC, and it's like the
Yeah,
shorter
yeah, yeah.
space.
And then, like, they're just like next to each other, like
Yeah.
boom. I think that's
Yeah.
cool. Who would love that, by the way? And also, if you have a suggestion for a T-shirt or a quote that you would like to see printed, then let us know, and we'll make that happen. But sorry, I stopped you in the middle of your song.
No, no, it was it. I think that's another thing that will help people keep the momentum is just erase that space between thinking and doing, and just do it. Oftentimes, like Seb says, which you quote a lot, and I love this quote: "Fear is
Yeah,
in the anticipation of the action, not in the action itself." And I promise you, that is so true because often of time, I have I need to call someone. I have their number in my phone. It's ready. All I need to press is call, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. As soon as I press that call button and it's ringing, I'm fine. Like that everything goes away, and then the conversation, no matter what happens on the call, it's fine.
yeah,
So yeah, just erase that time is what I
yeah.
would say.
I want to say another one, actually, and I noticed this in a lot of conversations. So I want to set the record straight, especially for people watching this, and maybe some people that are considering working with us and having the scholarship possibility, and have an interview. Is that I had a few people say that now to me. So I think somewhere the information must have gotten across in the wrong way. Some people are wondering whether, if you want to get started with this, or at least get started with this with us, that you have to have a business already. And that's absolutely not true. As a matter of fact, 50% of the, more than 50%, I think, of the people that we work with actually start from scratch, and we help them get everything set up. So building, like, figure out what is the best business for them, what is the steps to go about it, like custom made, custom tailored to what someone's flexibility is, someone's strengths, and what someone's ideal life circumstances are. But the reason why I want to mention it, apart from whether you want to work with us or when you don't want to work with us, is that um, that's another thing that I see people really overthink. What is my business going to be? What is this thing that I'm going to help people with? And basically, the answer that I would give and that I've learned from Master Akashna actually is that you want to find your purpose in helping people. So even if you don't have the first clue on what you would be doing, like obviously write down your script, that's definitely going to help. And that's then going to allow you to shorten the list of a couple of different possibilities. But then really all you have to do is be with the people. Because the moment you start speaking to people and you hear the problems that they're facing, you just got to ask yourself the question, hey, can I solve that? And if the answer is yes, then boom, the audience will show you what your business will be. And that's another interesting thing. And I haven't discussed this as much as I used to, but I learned this from him, where he basically said, if you want to run a business, there's 3 steps to it. Number 1 is find out what the market wants. Number 2, get it. And number 3, give it to them. That's what it is. Find out what the market wants, get it, and give it to them. So if you want to get into the doings quicker, again, coming back to it's as simple as making a story, starting a conversation with people. What holds people away from actually doing this is the thing like, yeah, but what if they respond? I don't know what I'm doing yet. You don't have to know. You just want to go out there and help the people. And even if they ask you something at some point or they say, I need help with business, well, even if you don't help them with business, message Josie, say, hey, Josie, I got someone for you. And then Josie says, well, you know what? If you bring this person to us and they start working with us, we're going to pay you a commission. And then that's business too. So again, business really lies into the solving of the problems, being proactive, being with the people, having conversations. So if people would just allow themselves to not have to have everything mapped out, but just to go and figure it out along the way, it would be so much better and so much stuff will get done. And that's, in my belief, another reason why the schooling system is not helping us, because we don't necessarily learn to operate like that. We kind of learn how to get everything perfectly organized and then perform in a certain way. Whereas business is really like everything lies in the doing. It's not like, even if you do come up with a payment, but with a plan, business plan, financial forecast, and you go into business first day, you realize you can scrap that. It's not going to happen that way.
Oh yeah.
And it's an interesting thing. And then also another thing, and I just want to ask you too, because you obviously also come from university and have had your fair share there and beautiful story there as well. Maybe we should talk about it once if you want to. But what I also learned when I did a mini session, mini course or something, I don't know what it's called, that was business related. And then there it was really like, okay, get the business plan, do the research, do the this, do the that. And there was zero mention of sales, zero mention of marketing, zero mention of going out there. And so it's so totally backwards, which made me think that business was going to be a hard thing.
Yeah.
And then coming to my first self-development event, it was like, wait a second, it's way easier. And I was really surprised. What was your experience of that? And also, I think your experience perhaps with some of your peers that see you actively doing the doings. And again, being so young, you started with us when you were 19, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's like, well, actually a kid out of school that went into this. How was that for you? Because I think that must have had its interesting sides of the journey that people look at you and like, what the heck are you doing? And how was that for you actually?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. There is so much to say here. And it's exactly, and by the way, on just quickly on your other point, a lot of people I speak to also ask me, like, do I need to know all this first? Like, do I need to know about business sales? And what I tell them is, if you did, we wouldn't be very good. If you had to know everything first, we wouldn't be very good at our job. So of course not, you don't. And we are very good at our jobs. So of course not.
And can I say one quick thing about that? I
Mhm.
actually, and I've said this to a few people now, I prefer it when you know less, because sometimes when people do know something, it doesn't necessarily, it's not the right thing. So there's a lot of erasing of methods that needs to happen to then go and do it right. So I actually prefer when someone is a blank sheet or someone is willing to just, learn to do it the right way. Doesn't mean if anybody's watching this and they have a business already and they have been operating a certain way that it will not help. But even from my own experience, when I learned something from a mentor and we had already been operating a certain way, there was this mental process, like, I'm used to doing it this way, but now you're telling me to do another way. But I listen to my mentor, but not everybody has that willingness. But if you do have the willingness, then it's no problem at all as well. So back to you.
Absolutely. Yes. Great point. Yeah, about the whole university and everything situation. If people don't know, I went to university for 2 years. I studied sport and exercise science. So I've always been very into sport and exercise. My mum has a studio, obviously, and I teach there, and I love the
Very
subject.
strong, stronger than many other male members of the team.
You know who you are. You know who you are. Yes, so I've always been interested in that. But when people ask me why I quit, it's really the simple answer is I didn't want to do it for the rest of my life. And I think with the schooling system and how things are set up, you're kind of taught from a very young age. I mean, what you have to choose your GCSEs when you're I can't even remember, too young to decide what the rest
What
of your
does it
life
mean
was.
actually?
Uh,
Because I lived in England for 7 years.
yeah,
Years I've been wondering, what does that mean,
oh,
GCSE?
true. GCSE. Yeah, for anyone watching, I forget. No, everyone's from England, are they?
Yeah.
GCSEs are the tests you take in like year 11. So when you're 16-ish, or you're at year 9. Oh my God, it's been so long, I can't even remember. But when you're about 16,
So old.
I know, it's the test that you take to like get into college, and then from college you get into university. So those are GCSEs basically. But you have to choose them when you're like 15, and then that kind of decides a little bit the rest of the trajectory of your life.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, and just because I enjoyed sport and learning sports science, suddenly I was taking it at university and paying £20,000 a year to learn this. And I realized one day I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. And I've always, since I was young, known I wanted to do something big and like do something. And I used to actually like Google like jobs with highest pay and stuff because I knew I wanted like to be there and everything. And that just wasn't the way to do it. And then obviously when I was 19, actually I've known you since I was probably like 17 or 18. But then when I was watching Master Sri Akashana, like and I found you. So I was like,
I didn't even know that. That's so
I
cool.
was a kid, but when I was 19, I came to the event and then I joined as a student, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and then when I quit university because I realized that's not what I want to do, there was backlash. There was a little bit of backlash from some friends and family, which now I know it came from love. At the time, I was like, hurt.
Wow.
And yeah, I was like, "What do you mean? Like, how dare you?" Da, da, da. I now know it came from love, but there was backlash. But what's funny is I really want people to know, anyone watching to know this, because a lot of people we speak to, right, are scared to go into the space because they're scared of what people will think. And number one, I still have that sometimes. I'm still like, "Ooh, a lot of my old friends and family still follow me. Like, what are they going to think?" I now realize I don't really care. Now that I've done it so much, I don't really care. But also, what's interesting is because I've carried on, and it goes back to that thing of start
Yeah.
and carry on. Because I've carried on, recently I've started to get messages from some of my university friends or old friends or people that I've met once at like a party some time ago, messaging me being like, what you're doing is so cool. Like you're really on it. Like you're really on a roll. Like this is so nice to see. Or this one girl actually watched the podcast I did with Stephen Ridley and was like, this is so amazing. Like so happy for you. And now more starting to come in. So if you can just withstand the initial uncomfortability of doing something not hard, new, it's new. I like it, you'll reap the rewards later. So it wasn't that nice, to be honest with you, when it was happening. But now I can see the bigger picture and everything, and it's like it's like, I'm glad that I did that, and
Mm.
I want to carry on doing that. Um, so yeah, that was
That's beautiful that you're sharing that. But I also think what is a very key factor in withstanding some of the hard things is being surrounded with really supportive people. Because I also have that in my side of the spectrum, is that I also still to this day sometimes things really can be challenging, and it's not always a walk in the park. It's a lot. I love it and would still, if I had to go back in time and do it again, I would do it again. But there are sometimes things also in business that can be difficult. What is it, like haters or people that are just really really rude, or there are some stuff sometimes that happen that can be very hurtful.
mm,
But I know for me, like being surrounded with the most beautiful family, FLC core family, and all of the people around me really allows me to just kind of live in my bubble in a way to
mm,
handle all of that other stuff. So sometimes I draw from Josie's strength to be able to handle whatever's going on over there and then the other side. And if you don't have that, then it can be extra hard. And that's what I see a lot too, especially when new members come on board. It's always like, whoa, I have this entire family of people from all around the world that is there to support and to be there for you. And you can see everybody's on the same journey, facing the same exact things as you are facing. And it's really nice and I guess reassuring to know that okay, we're all in this. Sometimes when you're at it alone, it feels like you have all the burdens and nobody necessarily knows what you're going through, and it feels like, is it just happening to me? And then on Instagram I see all of these people doing so well, but actually it's not like that. It's just everybody goes through stuff. But it makes it feel so good when you're surrounded by a powerful tribe that
yeah,
can be there for you. And that's also one of the reasons why we want to say, guys, so happy that you're here, part of the FLC family, the extended family, the podcast, the FLE group, the FLC family. For those of you that are not yet part of it, because then we can be that to each other. And I really, 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 every single time that something is challenging, it's just really like, who am I doing it for? What am I doing it for? And the love from the people that we get to inspire every single day, that just makes all the rest fall away and dissipate. And just like, okay, that's enough. Let's go. Let's carry on. It's
absolutely.
what we're doing it for. So
100%. If I didn't have like you and the FLC family and the people that are in this space with me,
yeah.
I couldn't do it. So yeah, definitely. And
Well,
that's another.
I want to actually say this. Actually, maybe this sounds a little bit contradictory, but you can do anything, and you could have done anything, but it does
Yeah,
make it easier, doesn't it?
yeah, 100%. I think I like you can, but I probably would have stopped, and I probably would have let
Yeah.
those feelings get to me, like the scaredness to do it. Maybe not forever. Maybe I would have grown up and realized, oh, actually, I was being silly and done it anyway. But yeah, I think that's another reason anyone watching that hasn't clicked on
Mm.
the link yet or hasn't joined the event yet, do
Yeah.
it because yeah, exactly, do it because I know from experience people say that they find it so much easier to do the doings and like post and do all that stuff they know they should do in the event because you're surrounded by that community, right? So yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we have that exercise, like everyone's doing it, so it's like, okay, I may as well make a
Yeah,
post so that
yeah,
people are getting things done. It's like, oh, that's so awesome. So
yeah.
yeah, that's a really big thing. And I think also another thing, just again to share with you guys, that we have a virtual office because all of our community and even with our team, we're in different places in the world. So sometimes that element of not being in the same room can be like, oh, I miss you, Josie. Well, Josie's coming home. But having a virtual office is very cool too. And we've noticed this with our team when we were working together. We go on a virtual Zoom office, we get things done together. And then we're like, hey, you know what? Let's do this with our community. So now we have a big virtual office where everyone from the community can just come do their work together. Like we're not chit-chatting or anything on there, but it's just like, it's so nice that we're working here and then we see Kudrat and then we see
Yeah.
Simon and then we see Kairun and everything. Everybody's just like doing their stuff. And it's just, it really elevates you as well because again you're not alone, and you know that there's other people also working on their dreams, and that is really empowering because then you know that yeah, this stuff is possible and let's go and do it. So I think that's a big factor as well in keeping momentum. And so we really want to share with everybody. And also thank you guys for the beautiful comments, by the way. We're noticing you guys. We're going to get into that in a second. But for everyone in here that have been part of Project 1 Million, stay in connection with the FLE group. Like today, for instance, we saw the incredible, what's his name? Mohammed. Mohammed made another live post, which is so good. And there was no exercise to go live again. No, Lippy, he already done his part. But he just went live again. And I want to give a shout out to Teklia. Teklia has been keeping momentum with his live videos and his posts since the previous event. Like, how awesome is that? So it's a really important thing. Like, you have a group here. There's 10.4 thousand people in the group. Use it. Like, put things in there, allow yourself to keep sharing, keep that momentum. And maybe not all members are super active because this is obviously not the core group, like there are FLC students, but the FLC students are in there too. So it's really nice that you still have that powerful tribe. Stay connected, use these things, keep the things going, and it just makes you feel so much better. And when you feel better, the happiness advantage, then you start to do more as well. And I think that's a very key thing too. Now, Josie, can I give it to you to go over the beautiful comments?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we have Misty in here. Thank you so much for being here. I really liked, she said a couple minutes ago, that is where I worry right now is, will they see the value? But the right people will. Exactly. I think this is something that I realized as well recently is when I'm having the scared feelings or the doubts or anything before I post or make a story, I'm like, what will people think? It's not for everyone. It's for the people that I'm trying to help, and the right people and the people you're trying to get to, they will see the value and they will take from it. And that is all that matters. Stop making it about you. Stop making it about the people that you might be scared. What will they think? It's about the people you're trying to help, right? And I know that you're very big on that too. It's not about you. It's about the other person. So I really, really like that one.
Absolutely. And shout out to Peter Alisov, our newest student in the making. Big hoo for you. I know as well, Mien is really, really absolutely proud of Peter. I am very, very proud of Peter as well. But this is a very big deal because this was his first video and he really allowed so much of his incredible strength to come out in this beautiful video. So Peter, if you're watching, we're so proud of you. You are amazing, super, super amazing. And Missy's saying, can you remind us what's allowed to post in the FLE group? Okay, so in the FLE group, it's really about helping each other, supporting each other. Value is very much allowed. What we do not allow is links or just people recruiting each other or selling to each other. We want to make it like a nice, supportive environment. So anything that is positive and is not a link or not a, hey, buy this or buy that is totally allowed. So that's basically it. So if you want to share your journey, ask questions, do positive things in there, that is definitely allowed. Yeah. And then self-doubt, self-actualize. That's what FLC is. I love it. Hoo-ha-hoo. Yes,
that's really good. Yeah, I really love that one. Yeah, we in FLC will push you to actually do the doings and do what you know you should do deep down, but maybe you need someone to help you. And again, like we're saying all this, and something I said in my live video after day 5 of the last event is, it is simple, but it's not always easy. Like it can be that simple. Know what you need to do and do it, but it's not always that easy. And that's really where having a community comes into play, right? Whether it's the event, whether it's the FLE group, whether you're a student, you need that community because sometimes you do need that little push, like we all do. And that's why we do that. So it is simple, but it's not always easy. And we appreciate that.
And on that note, I want to say, Josie, can you push me on my thing?
Yes, I need to, I'll message you and see what that thing is exactly.
You hold me accountable there because I need to push. And I think you need one too. So we're going to hold each other accountable.
Yes. Yes. Push. We'll just push each other back and forth.
All right, super, super nice. Also, I want to ask a question. Like, what is maybe a question that you guys watching this have? Maybe something that you are, thinking about, something that you are having as a doubt, as a concern, as something that you feel that is preventing you from doing the doings. Let us know in the chat box. And whether or not we have the time to cover all of the points that will come in now or on the next episode, we'll be so happy to do so. And oh, I see Branka on here. Hello, Branka. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Branka as well. She's so amazing. I had the pleasure of having a call with her just a few days ago. And I can't wait for our next call because you are incredible. So I just wanted to quickly shout that out too. So, Josie, can you tell our audience a little bit more about the podcast, when it is, how they should subscribe, and yeah.
Yes, I can do that. So this is obviously what it says on the tin, the Freedom Lifestyle Podcast, and we will be live every single Monday at 4:15 p.m. UK time, which is 7:15 p.m. Dubai time. And then please use a calculator to work that out what it is for you. Otherwise, I'll be here for very long listing all the different places.
All the time zones.
Right. I won't do that. I'll respect your time. But this every single Monday we're going to come on and talk about a topic either we feel is really important to share, something we've experienced during the week, or maybe something that we've spoken to one of our students about, or has someone's asked us a really good question that we want to cover. So if you are in the space and sometimes you have questions and you want us to cover them, then let us know. Like, comment on here, message us personally, and let us know what we can cover too, because this is for you guys. We're here for you guys and to cover that. So we'll be live every Monday, either talking about something we feel is really important to share or something that you feel is really important for us to talk about. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit the little bell so you know when we're live, and like the video so it goes out to more people, because we want to help more people. So if you could help us do that, that would be amazing.
Yes, and also we have a couple of very exciting guests lined up. So we have Natasha Graciano coming back. We have Stephen Ridley coming back. We have actually we are invited on Misty's podcast, so we're very excited for that one too. So that is called bum, 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 Life's a Trip, and I forgot the map. We're very excited to be on that one too. And there's a couple more in the pipeline which I don't remember from the top of my head, but lots of good stuff coming your way. And I think we have a doubt. Let's go and talk about. So this one is from Misty, so I'm going to show it on the screen right now. And right now, my doubt is I just finished my book and wanting to share it with people important to me, and them diminishing it and diminishing me. So the second one was how to move through the doubt. Josie, what would you say?
Great question. Right now, my doubt is I just finished my book and wanting to share it with more people. Yeah, that. I still get that as well. And I think what I would say is as long, there we go, that was a tongue twister, as long as you know that you are proud of the content and you know it's helping people, then that's really all that matters. And it can hurt, and it can be really scary when people close to you think that they're going to have opinions that are not so nice about it. But yeah, that's going to be a thing, I think, for everyone and every entrepreneur ever. As long as you know it's valuable and that you're helping people with it, and other people are going to take value from it, that is all that matters. And I know that Misty, because we know Misty personally, is so lovely and always wants the best for other people and wants to do the best for other people. Sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish, I think, and think that, no, I like this. I like speaking about this. I want to share this, and I know that other people will like it. So yeah, that's what I would say. It's
I fully agree. And also know that um, that not everybody's on the same journey. So it could also be that sometimes when someone says something that could feel as a diminishing of it, it doesn't first and foremost always mean it that way, but it could also come from a place that they actually wish you well, but they're just afraid of certain things because of their own life journey, and then they don't necessarily know how to express it very well. So it could be that they say, "Oh, why are you doing this? You should just, do what you can be safe in, or like, just stick to your job and don't do all of the silly stuff because people will not believe in you anyways," or whatever people may say. And it doesn't necessarily have to come from a bad place, but then you also have to, I think, take into consideration, number one, what Josie said, like if you know that it's something good and it matters to you and you're not hurting anybody, then you should just be able to live out your dream. But also, I think, is an important thing is that sometimes we have to lead by example. Sometimes another person may not be ready for this, and by you going for it and then you making it, it could inspire the other person. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa, so good for you!" Like just what Josie experienced. That in the beginning there was a lot of people like, "What are you doing?" And that's sort of like a little bit of backlash. Whereas now, because she kept going, people are like messaging her and say, "This is so amazing and you're so inspiring," and whatnot. And that's usually the curve. In the beginning, people are like a bit like not so sure, and then all of a sudden, when you're doing it and you see clearly that it produces results, then people are celebrating it. And it doesn't mean that the people are mean or anything, but it's just that they might not have been at that stage. So I think in assessing that, definitely the people that are close to us, they obviously mean a lot, but then really do take into account, and be objective about it, to also see, okay, maybe there's a different life path here. Maybe that person has had a lot of struggles in a particular way, and therefore they have given up on their dream, or something along those lines. And because they don't want you to suffer in the way that they have suffered, they're trying to protect you, but it's not necessarily the most encouraging way that they do it. Then don't allow it to stop you from doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day there are two options. Option number one is that you let it affect you, and therefore you're going to stay stuck as well, and then a couple of years from now you're going to wonder, like, why didn't I just try it at least? Or you're actually going to go and have that grit, like Josie said, and you just lead by example, and you allow the other person to be inspired by it. And it might take a little while, but if you start, you don't quit, you show up, you keep doing the doings. Misty especially, go through DCA, do all of the things that is set in there step by step. There's like entire roadmap, how to get from where you are to getting clients, the whole shebang. Then at some point you'll see that people will come around. But my final tip with this is that, could it maybe be that it just lives in your head and that no one will say a thing? Because 90% of the things that we worry about never even happen. I thought too that I would get backlash from the scientific community that I came from. Nobody said anything, apart from one person who actually said it to my face. But apart from that, nobody commented, nobody said anything. And so it was just in my head.
Mm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Faye, something that very quickly before we finish off, something that Stephen Ridley said when I was doing the podcast with him is, failure is quiet. If no one likes your post, no one says anything, or someone says something bad to you private, and that's like failing, it's very quiet, because if someone messages you privately, then no one else sees it, right? If no one likes your video or comments, then that means no one saw it. So it's quiet anyway. So it's like, it's not a big deal as well. And that just came to mind too. So I wanted to
That's
share that.
actually, I want to say a similar version of that, which Master Kashna shared, and he was training someone to grow his YouTube channel, and then that person was showing up really really well in all of the classes and making really good videos. And then the next class came, and he was so inspired by how good this person was showing up, and then he said, "Hey, have you posted any of these things?" He said, "No, I've not posted anything because I'm afraid what people will think." And then he says, "Okay, how many subscribers do you have on your YouTube?" He says, "0." So he says, "So nobody's going to see it anyways."
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. That's true.
Don't overcomplicate things, guys.
Exactly.
And by the way, that guy blew up on YouTube. when he started posting. So I forgot his name, but it was a really funny story.
Yay. Yeah, exactly.
Now, shall we wrap up?
I think we should wrap up. Yes. Amazing. Thank you, everyone, for watching today and for all the comments. We love you so much. Again, like Tjibaria said, if there's anything that you want us to cover next time, let us know. If you haven't joined Next Project 1 Million, join that so you can see all the goodness that we're talking about, and you can actually see everything that we talked about today. And then with that being said, make sure you've liked, subscribed, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next Monday, same time, same place.
Yay!
Bye.